welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here, and let's get started. So today we're gonna talk about breathing and why people give it so much importance. If you've ever taken a singing lesson, your coach has probably told you breathe into your diaphragm, or breathe into your belly, or breathe here, breathe fast, breathe slow, breathe faster, whatever. Why? Why is breathing so important? Vocal coaches can disagree on many things, but most of them will tell you that breathing is the absolute basis of singing. But why? Because singing can have many different meanings, but at a very physical, basic level, singing is really exhaling. So if I'm singing any note, what I'm doing is releasing air. But it's not the same as if I were blowing into a balloon, or talking, which is also exhaling, or just blowing, or whistling. Those are all different types of exhalation. But the exhalation in singing is a very specific, controlled, and relaxed exhalation. And you never learn that unless you learn how to sing. So that's why it's so important, because it's in everything you sing. Breathing is in everything you sing. We always talk about inhalation, right? So we distinguish the shallow breath, right? So raise shoulders, and like a hyperventilation, that's shallow, right? From the deep, full breath, where my shoulders don't move, and I fill my whole lungs, and I can put more work into it if I want. Fill out my back, and my sides, and these sides. There I go, right? And you can practice that, and you can do it on the floor, and you can look for exercises that talk specifically about belly breathing and whatever. Please don't say breathe into your diaphragm unless you want me to rant about it. That's not a thing. You can't breathe into a muscle. But more importantly, exhalation. Exhalation is more important. Exhaling with control. What needs to happen is that the air has to come out with pressure. And in order to create that pressure, you're like a little tank with a little valve. Your lungs are the tank, right? So I have my little air tank, and I'm breathing. And whatever I exhale when I sing, is only the specific amount that I need, and it comes out with a very specific pressure. So if I let out a leak of air and I sing in a breathy way, sure, it can sound cool and shimmery and with a little effect and whatever you want to call it. And you can use that sometimes. But what's happening physically is that I'm wasting air that I could be using for singing. I'm gonna run out of air more quickly, and I'm gonna run out of control much sooner. What's gonna happen is that when I run out of air, use my throat now because I don't have more power with my breath because I don't have any more air. Right? So now you don't have any more power with your breath. So what you have to do is overcompensate with your throat and hurt yourself. You always want your tank more or less full so that you can use that pressure to release your air with whatever quality you want. Whatever the control is in the air. So if you waste it with, breathiness, then there goes your control. So you might be wondering, okay, this theory sounds nice, and thank you for enlightening me, but how do I apply it? So now I'm gonna give you a couple of tips that I find very useful when I'm practicing breath or breathing in my songs. The first one is, you don't have to run out of air before taking your next breath. So whenever you get a chance to breathe, breathe. No one's gonna give you a prize if you breathe less or if you breathe fewer times, you know, like, oh, I can sing that song in only 3 breaths. No one cares. Breathe whenever you need to breathe, because even if you are only 30% empty and 70% full, you still want to, you know, get that supposed 30% in just to get that control back, because then you can do a lot more things and you're going to have a lot more control. The second one is that as soon as your phrase ends, take a breath for the next phrase. And then you can have as much time as you want for breathing and for placement. So don't wait until the last second to take a breath, because then this happens. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet, to go over. You get a really rushed breath. You can hear the air coming in. You don't get any time for placement, and then you sing rushed instead of, I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet, to go over. Taking advantage of all the time you have, you know, and sometimes you'll have a whole measure or 2 measures. Still take advantage of it, you know. The only exception is if you have too much time and then you can breathe several times, and that's good, but you still want to take your final breath way in advance of when you have to sing, so that not only can you prepare physically but also mentally for the note you're going to sing, the placement you have to have, the style you're going to sing it in, the mood that you're going to be in when you sing it, etc., the lyrics that you're going to sing, and so much more. That's all about breath, and if you want exercises, there's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube for that, or ask your teacher. If you want me to be your teacher, I'm offering Skype lessons or in-person lessons in Panama City right now, so you can contact me in the description below. And huge announcement, I'm giving a workshop this Tuesday, February 7th in the American Trade Hotel in Panama City, and the workshop's gonna be about how your favorite artists sing with their particular style, what techniques they use, and how you can achieve it too. So you don't need to be a singer to come to the workshop, you can just learn about the techniques, but if you are a singer, we're definitely gonna work on those techniques when you come. So I'll see you there, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Yeah.